Welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. That guy over there is Rogers Hampton. I am Patrick Netherton. And we're pleased to welcome in, look, he's one of my favorite guys in the Southland Conference. Again, as the voice of the Demons, you want to really dislike a lot of the guys that are in the league, right? Southeastern's been a team that's been on the rise. They've had great success the last few years. And so you want to just, want to dislike their coaches, but dang it, it's filled with guys that are just very likable. And Frank Scelfo, the head coach of the Southeastern Louisiana Lions, is at the top of that list. Coach, welcome. How are you, sir?
Patrick, I'm doing great, man. How you guys doing up there?
Man, we are fantastic. I'm just happy I don't have an outdoor job like you do, to be honest with you, in this summer heat. I don't appreciate it, but, hey, we make do, right? We have to get through it.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, it's nice down here. It's about 65 degrees every day, man. We got beautiful weather here in Hammond, America. We got Chamber of Commerce days every day, man.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lie, but I do love Hammond. I am a fan. I do enjoy my time down there. I will say this about Hammond: for being Hammond is bigger than you realize, and I think that every time I go down there. Because, typically when I'm traveling, I'm kind of insulated. I'm calling a baseball series, so it's sort of hotel, maybe grab a quick bite, head to the stadium. If it's football, it's maybe not even stay overnight. It's just go down, call the game, come back, or maybe stay one night. Every time I go for an extended period in Hammond, like the softball tournament this past spring, I'm always sort of amazed at how big Hammond really is and how much stuff is actually there.
Yeah, we really got a great driver.
I'm always the designated driver, which I'm not averse to being. All right, look, there's obviously you're a guy in a squad. You've had some great success over the last couple of years. Cole Kelley came through and put up some tremendous numbers. He's now departed. He's moved on. Obviously, everyone focuses on the quarterback position when there's a battle there. And with Kelley being gone, tell me about that quarterback position and what you're looking at.
Yeah, I think, when you look across the board for us, Patrick, we got a lot of new faces that holes we got to plug. And every year is different. Now, Jalen Bell's coming back at left tackle. He's a returner. But at the same time, he's a better player than he was last year. So he's changed. Every player has changed throughout the course of spring and fall, summer coming into the fall. So it's not just the quarterback position. It's all 22 spots across the board. We've got to make some adjustments, and we got to get better at each position. And to do that, for us to reach any goals that we got set for ourselves. And the quarterback position is no different. I think Cephas Johnson, we've been finished up day 5 today. He's had a good camp so far. And Kobe Suits is another kid that's coming along, doing a good job. Eli Sawyer, Grant Tisdale, Bauer Sharp. So we're giving 5 quarterbacks reps right now, then we'll start cutting back on some of those, and some guys will start focusing and getting a few more.
There was a year when Northwestern State had 4 quarterbacks that were in the mix and no real sort of definitive starter. And I begged our coaching staff to start in the Notre Dame box to begin the season. Just put all 4 of them back. Can you please just one play, maybe the first play from scrimmage, just throw all of them in there? So that you don't. I don't know. I wish someone would do that when you have kind of that quarterback battle between 3, 4, 5 guys. Just put them all out there one time. Can you do that for me?
Patrick, you sure you don't drink?
I don't. That doesn't mean I don't have ridiculous ideas, Coach.
Nah, that's a ridiculous idea for not drinking. No, but look, I'm not saying you got 1 or you got 2 or you got none. That old saying.
Right.
I've used 2 quarterbacks my entire career, and we've had great success doing it. There's sometimes where guys they're not seeing the field, or they got shook up, or just having a bad day, and it's good to get them out a series or 2 and then let somebody else go in. We did it back in 19 with Jason Virgil was our starter, but he'd have a couple of times where, he'd struggle a little bit, and we gave Cole Kelley some meaningful reps, and that paid off for us. But then Cole became the starter this past year, and Cephas Johnson played in some meaningful games, big-time plays for us in the playoffs and everything else, and he was able to jump in there and get some meaningful reps. So it's not something that we shy away from. We're going to put the best players on the field, and the players who are performing on the field to go out there and do that. So we do that at every position, and it creates a competitive edge for us that we feel like, and everybody needs to know they got to carry their weight when they get on the field.
Talking to Frank Scelfo, head coach of the Southeastern Louisiana Lions. All right, obviously one of the big topics is the transfer portal, and as I keep reminding everyone, it's not the portal itself it's the issue, it's the NCAA granting that one free transfer without having to sit out. The scary part for the FCS, for the mid majors, so to speak, is that you find a guy, you develop a guy, he becomes successful and then leaves to go play at a bigger school because of how you developed him. But I think it also can kind of work in reverse as well. A guy goes maybe overreaches a little bit, doesn't quite have it for that level, FBS or high major or whatever, and decides to come back down. Tell me about what this has done for the ability to transform your roster on a one-year basis.
Well, you got to remember that the transfer portal really it's done a disservice to a lot of players. There's the percentage was 54%. NCAA came out with some numbers. 54% of the student athletes who jumped into the transfer portal with a scholarship did not get a scholarship when everybody, all the smoke cleared.
Mm-hmm.
So that was 54% of the guys gave up a scholarship, a college education, and they got nowhere to go. They got no place to play. So I think what's happening is that you can transform your roster. You can put a bunch of new bodies out there. But for us, it's about a culture fit, and we got to make sure that the culture works for us. So when we take a look at a guy, we watch him on film, and we like what we see on film, we contact the schools that he's been at. We go back to his high schools, contact those guys, find out if he's a culture fit for us, because we just don't want a bunch of players in here. We want guys who believe in Southeastern and the goals and the values that we have. Not just I got to get my catches or I got to make my tackles. Or I got to play so many plays.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want that guy. I want the guy that wants to come in here and win the Southland Conference and play in the playoffs. And if he can be part of a team, how would he react if he's not the starter? Because we already know, but there's a lot of programs that don't recruit high school players at all. They go straight to the portal to try to plug and play.
Do you? I'm a proponent of a group of 5 playoff. Because until Cincinnati got in, I had said I didn't think that there would ever be a group of 5 team that would get into their playoff because the committee would not pick them, would not want them to be in there. It's a Power 5 sort of centric deal. And I proposed a group of 5 playoff. I have had people that have agreed with me. I've had folks that disagreed with me. But you're in a division at the FCS that has a playoff. I think it might be too many teams, but hey, that's fine. Let's let it. Let's get some people in there. Is that a selling point? Is that something that recruits appreciate? Let's say you're battling, Middle Tennessee for a guy, and you go, hey, by the way, you come here, you got a chance to legitimately play for a national championship. Middle Tennessee's never going to sniff that. Is that a recruiting pitch that works on these kids?
Absolutely. It's the truth, right? So you can go to certain schools and they compete their butts off to try to win 5, 6 games, and they go to a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. They 5 or 6 games. They're taking 5-win teams to the bowl games now. So you win 6 games, you go to a bowl, and you have a successful season, and you finish 6-6. Well, you get 6-6 at our level, you're not going anywhere. You're going home.
Right.
You're done. We get a chance to go into the playoffs and continue to play, and the excitement of FCS playoffs. Again, I've never done it before I got here to Southeastern, Patrick, and I've been in the NFL at every conference across the country. And, the bowl games do a great job. They really help the cities and the charities that they serve, and they help the players. It's really good for the players. But at the same time, when you look at your overall, as a program, the overall organization, to be able to get into the playoffs and it's win and you continue to play, lose and you go on home, and there's some finality to that. It is really exciting. It's been a great road for me. I love it. I wouldn't change it, and I hope that the FBS expands theirs to include more teams and give more opportunities for programs to jump in.
Yeah, it is again, I think it's one of the massive selling points. It's the same reason why I think they should have. I think it should be something that's bigger in the at the group of 5 level. Put them at, I don't know. I feel like they like you said, they're playing to win 6 games and go win a bowl game. And look, we have the Independence Bowl here in Shreveport, and I love those guys and I love that bowl game, but what does that really mean ultimately? All right, let's talk more about your team. Let's focus on the lines a little bit. Quarterback situation in flux. You do have some incredible defenders coming back. Let's switch to that side of the ball. Tell me about that defense and what you're expecting to see from those guys.
Well, we got an older group over there on that side right now, and Camp's been pretty good for them for 5 days. So I feel really confident in them. We have to play better on defense. We haven't played well the last couple of years on defense, and it's for a variety of reasons. But as a head coach, I got to get it all fixed and get it squared away. So we're going to have some experience back there. We got 3 guys who have made All-American in the secondary at some point in time in their career, and Orlando Jordan, Zy Alexander, and Brandon Barbie. And I think those 3 guys, they do an outstanding job back there. And then our free safety, Donnell Warden-McGee, has been a 2-time All-Conference player. So we've got some experience and some talent on the back end that's going to allow us to free some stuff up, free some things up front. And that's where I think what we're hoping is where we're going to see a change at is in our front 4. We've got to be better and more physical there, and that's what we're working on during camp this summer.
Could you be a defensive coach in today's? I mean, I know that's not necessarily your background, but could you be a defensive coach in today's college football?
You know, what you got to look at is that what are you trying to accomplish? You know, who are you going to shut out? You're not shutting anybody out anymore, right? So what you got to be able to do is you got to figure out a way to get strategic stops, and that's what we have to do. We're not beating anybody 14-10. That doesn't happen much in today's game. But what you can do is that you can win 35-31, but you made a couple of big stops in the fourth quarter to get your offense the ball back, and you go down and score, and now you end up winning the game. And I think that's where it's critical. Look, we played Northwestern a couple of years ago. We blocked 3 field goals.
Yeah.
All of those were pivotal field goals for us to win that game, and we win by 3. And, when you look at something like that, our defense made some pivotal stops that forced them in a position to kick a field goal, and we ended up blocking them and thus winning the game. And if we don't stop them, we didn't shut them down that day. They did a great job on offense. Coach Laird and his team did. But what we did do is that we stopped them strategically and forced them in a field goal situation, and we ended up getting the block. Appreciate you bringing that memory up, Coach. That's it's very nice of you.
Since I had to be there to call all 3 of those blocked field goals. Hey, to me, it's honestly a little bit like arena football. When the AF2 debuted, we had a team up here in Bossier City, and Pat Tilley was the head coach, former Cardinals receiver. And Pat Tilley used to say, look, I don't need you guys to stop them from scoring. I just need you to stop them once. Give me one stop during the course of each half, and we'll win because we'll keep scoring. And I've got to imagine that's kind of the philosophy you have to have in today's game.
No, it is. I mean, you can't get frustrated when guys score points. There's too many. Look, the rules favor the offense. We know that. So, and then when you got quarterbacks who have been growing up since they were 5, 6, 7 years old, throwing 7-on-7s, and the receivers are talented, running routes, doing the things that they do, and then, offensive linemen are just holding off long enough for the ball to get out of a guy's hands, they're going to be some big plays and wide open scoring. Offensive coordinators have done a lot of good things on developing things and getting route packages and concepts going. So points are going to get scored, like I said. But what you got to be able to do is that keep your defense in the game. It's okay. We're going to get them the next time. Let's just stop them. Now we need a stop. Let's get it done.
One last thing, Coach. I noticed that one of your new coaches on the coaching staff, you managed to pry an ESPN reporter away to come and be your defensive line coach. That's impressive, I've got to say.
Well, I mean, I don't know if yeah, okay, we do that.
Tom Rinaldi, there you go.
Tom Rinaldi is our defensive line coach, and he's from Jersey.
Yeah.
And so that kind of helps out a little bit, but that's not the same.
Oh, not the same guy. Not the same guy. Okay, I was a little confused. I thought, well, he'll tell some great stories about your team during the course of the year. That's no doubt about that. Last thing, Coach, your son Anthony, who obviously we got to know at Northwestern State, still with you down in Hammond. What does that mean to be able to have your son on your staff while you're building this program up?
Well, one, obviously he's a good coach, and so that helps us. He's helping. He's our pass game coordinator, he's our recruiting coordinator, so he knows the state of Louisiana. So that helps in recruiting, and then you know, and his offensive, he's very aware offensively, and he's going to be a coordinator here pretty soon somewhere else, and we know that. He's going to move on because that happens to good coaches. But I think the biggest thing is he's given us an opportunity to succeed here in Southeastern. And then the other thing is that my wife's really happy that he's here and the grandbabies are here. So that makes everything really nice. That's a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Coach, always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. It's always good to catch up. You're the best. I will. I promise I haven't been drinking, but if you would throw like 3 or 4 of your quarterbacks on the field for one play, like Central Connecticut State or something, Coach, you don't have to do it against ULL, but just give me one just to appease me, Coach. I'd appreciate that.
I tell you what, but we might do that, and I'll send it to you. But if you can get somebody else to do it, I sure would like to see it.
Okay, I will. I tried. The Saints did it one year. They had 3 QBs on the field one time on I think it was like a goal to go situation or a 2-point conversion or something. They had 3 quarterbacks on the field at the same time and didn't do anything with it. They were like decoys. Like, come on, do something with it. Give me a double or triple pass or something. Do something fun.
There you go, Patrick. I'm telling you, now, the drinking thing, you should really consider that.
Well, here's the problem. If I'm like this sober, I can't imagine what I'd be like drunk. That's probably not good.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know what? You got a good point. You got a good point, man.
Hey, Coach, best of luck, continued success, obviously, when you're not playing the Demons, and we look forward to catching up with you soon, brother.
Thank you. We'll see y'all when y'all come to town, man.
All right. Frank Scelfo, head coach of the Southeastern Louisiana Lions.